On the night of April 26, 1986, the world changed forever. In the quiet town of Pripyat, Ukraine, an invisible enemy was unleashed, one that would devastate thousands of lives and scar the earth for generations. This is the story of Chernobyl, the worst nuclear disaster in human history. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant was a shining example of Soviet engineering, a symbol of progress and the boundless potential of nuclear energy. Pripyat, the city built to house the plant's workers, was a modern utopia with schools, hospitals and homes for over 50,000 people. But beneath this veneer of progress lay a dangerous secret. On the evening of April 25, 1986, the operators of Reactor 4 prepared to conduct a routine safety test. The goal, to ensure that the reactor could be safely shut down in the event of a power outage. But what they didn't know was that they were about to trigger a series of catastrophic events. The reactor was already unstable, pushed to its limits by a combination of design flaws and human error. And then, at exactly 1:23 a.m., the unthinkable happened. The operators pressed the AZ5 button, the emergency shutdown switch, believing it would save them, but instead it sealed their fate. A colossal explosion ripped through Reactor 4, blasting the 2,000-ton reactor lid into the air like a toy. The core was exposed and a radioactive inferno erupted, sending deadly radiation into the atmosphere. The nightmare had begun. Unaware of the invisible killer around them, firefighters from Pripyat rushed to the scene. They fought the flames with courage, with no protection from the lethal radiation that was silently poisoning them. Many of them would pay the ultimate price for their bravery within days. As dawn broke over Chernobyl, the full scale of the disaster began to unfold. The reactor continued to burn, spewing radioactive particles into the sky. But still, the world outside remained blissfully unaware of the catastrophe that had begun to consume them all. In Moscow, Soviet leaders scrambled to contain the truth. They feared the impact of admitting such a catastrophic failure, both to their people and to the world. So they kept it quiet, downplayed the risks, and delayed the evacuation of Pripyat. It would be 36 hours before the first residents were told to leave, but as radioactive clouds drifted across Europe, it became impossible to hide the truth. The world was about to discover that Chernobyl was not just a Soviet disaster, it was a global catastrophe. Finally, the order came to evacuate Pripyat. Residents were told they would be back in a few days, but in reality, they would never return. Families left everything behind, homes, pets, memories, all abandoned in the rush to escape the deadly radiation that had already seeped into every corner of their lives. Pripyat became a ghost town overnight, a monument to the lives that were forever changed by the disaster. But for the Soviet Union, the real battle was just beginning. The Soviet government mobilized over 600,000 liquidators, soldiers, firefighters, and civilians tasked with containing the disaster. They worked in extreme conditions, many with little more than basic protective gear. Their mission, to bury the reactor in a concrete sarcophagus and prevent further radioactive release. Many of these heroes would suffer from severe radiation sickness, and thousands would die from their exposure. But their efforts succeeded in encasing Reactor 4, at least temporarily, in a massive concrete tomb. Today, Chernobyl remains one of the most contaminated places on Earth. The exclusion zone, spanning 1,000 square miles, is a silent witness to the disaster's legacy. Wildlife has returned, but the land remains dangerous, a reminder of the invisible poison that lingers beneath the surface. Chernobyl is more than just a disaster. It's a stark warning about the consequences of hubris, secrecy, and the failure to respect the power of nature. The lessons learned here have shaped nuclear safety protocols around the world, reminding us that the price of failure is far too high. Chernobyl will forever be a symbol of human error and resilience. It's a story of tragedy, but also of courage, sacrifice, and the unyielding spirit of those who face the unimaginable. As we remember the past, we must carry its lessons into the future, ensuring that the horrors of Chernobyl are never repeated. Thank you for watching. If you found this story moving, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that have shaped our world. Let us know in the comments which historical event you'd like to see next.